Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome to the Gaming 4. Today in this Unturned update video, I'm going to be covering the changes that were made in the update 3.14.15.0. Now, to start us off, there's been a huge addition of this new generator. It's called an industrial generator. And also something else I want to mention is that as you see, there's this yellow line off in the distance, and this is the new way of representing where this will affect. So as you guys can see, it was pretty large. It was all the way out there, and yeah, so this is a giant generator. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of gas as well, so just be prepared for that. But yeah, pretty much this just allows one generator to cover a fantastically huge area. So yeah, super cool. So besides this new generator, there's a couple more items that were added. We have new types of flags, lots of them. In fact, I think one for each type of wood and including metal. And so yeah, as you can see, they're pretty large. And I think they are just decorational. These are not claim flags. So, besides that, there's also double doors that have been added in all the different types of woods and materials. So, all the woods and metal. And speaking of flags, now the claim flag is now explosion proof. So besides physical objects that have been added to the game, there's actually been a large change in regards to scope quality. So whenever you were using a scope and you were focusing on some sort of foliage, what Nelson was noticing is that it would stutter the game and you would get a large decrease in FPS because of just having to render in that extra detail. So pretty much what he did is he made scopes always rendering in the background while you have a gun out. And so pretty much it won't create a large decrease in lag, but it may decrease the overall quality of the game. So right now he's not quite sure if he's going to keep this change, but he's sort of testing right now, and he's figuring it out, finding out the best solution for that problem. So there's also a few more changes regarding vehicles. Now when you're in a vehicle, as you can see, you can't see the backpack through the chair. I think in the past that used to be happening, and yeah, he made that so it doesn't happen now. Another change relating to vehicles and lights in general is that now lights fade over distance. So I'm going to turn it nighttime, and as you can see, the light is still there and it's still visible. But here in a bit, like right around here, we start to get to a point where some of the details of the light starts to slowly fade. And as we go a little farther, it becomes less and less visible. And then right around here, it sort of becomes non-visible at all. As you can see, almost all the effects of the light are gone, and all we're left with is, these two little specks that used to be the car. So pretty much, I think this was just to make the game more realistic. I don't think it was really an improvement or a fix or anything like that. But one of the improvements that he was working on with this update is to improve how servers handle zombies and animals and stuff like that. So pretty much, there was a few changes related to them. One of them had to do with animals trying to swim into water. Now, I think in the past we've seen glitches where you've got deer that are like running into the water and they won't stop. And they sort of get stuck there. So he's supposedly fixed that, and so now they won't try to be fishes, quote unquote. That's exactly what he said. Also related to animals and zombies, apparently there was a bug where on the pause screen like this, you would hear, animal and zombie noises just pretty constantly, I guess. And apparently that is fixed now, so, that's always good. Another thing, sort of off topic, is he has made slides slippery. So I've not tested this out yet. This will be my first time. But apparently, you're not really. Oh gosh, you're not able to really climb up them very much. Oh my gosh. That's an interesting mechanic there. So you start moving on them and you just keep going. I tapped forward once and I sort of slid all the way down the slide. So that's super cool, making the slides a little more usable. So, before you couldn't actually really slide down them. Now you can. So that's the majority of changes and fixes that will directly affect you, in single player. There are a couple more fixes that I want to mention before we move on. One of them being that he fixed some soup and pasta textures, and the other one being that he updated the profanity filter and sort of got it to catch a few more unpleasant words that might be said. Alright, another change I want to hit on quickly is that there's now an option to disable the arena timer warning or enable it. And pretty much what he's done is if you check this, when you're in a game and you're about to start the arena match, it will actually give you, I think, an audio warning when it's about to start. So you can obviously leave that on or leave it off. And there's also the countdown there as well. So you don't really need it, but it's an extra thing there just to really let you know that the arena match is about to start. Alright, so there's also a few changes that were made inside the editor. One of them being you now have the option to change the rain frequency and the rain duration multipliers. So obviously, I think if you turn them up to 100, the rain duration will be possibly all the time. It might also be in seconds, but I think it'll multiply the normal rain duration by 100, so it'll be raining quite a lot. Also, you can add the rain frequency up to however much you want, and of course you've got this can rain option as well. So oh sweet, and if you press that button it will actually simulate a storm for you, so you can see what it'll be like on your map during a storm. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. Pretty much just more customization on what you can do with your custom maps. The second change, I'm going to turn the storm off really quick, has to do with roads. And there's actually, it has to do with the sound that you make while walking on the roads. So pretty much there's like a generic concrete sound that always played when walking on the roads. And that's what this check mark is here for. If you uncheck that and they're on this type of road, they will no longer make that sound. Now, I'm not quite sure if they will make a sound at all. I think it might just make them sound like they're walking on sort of dirt or something like that. So nothing really special there, but you can, I guess, toggle the sounds if you want to get that detailed into your map. Alright guys, so the last two changes I want to mention both have to do with servers. So I'm just going to run this test server here, and as it loads in I'll sort of explain it. So one of the things is a new command called reset config, and pretty much what this does is it resets the config file that has to do with the server. So if you guys didn't know, if you double click into your servers folder, go to the specific server folder that you had your server in and go into the config, you will have a bunch of settings here. There's similar settings that you can set with your single player world. So spawn chances, drop times, all this stuff. Everything that you can do in a single player world, as well as you can set it with hard, normal, and easy as well. So anyway, as you customize what's in here, perhaps you want to just reset it all instead of having to create a new server or something like that to sort of get it back to what it was. So previously there was actually nothing to do that, but now if you type in the command reset config just like that and press enter, it will say successfully reset configuration. Now, the second change that I want to go over has to do with one of these commands, the shutdown command. So over here, it says shutdown delay, and it didn't used to have a delay. So if we just shut it down right now, it will just shut down the server. But if we use a delay, it'll actually broadcast to all the players playing on the server, that the server will shut down, in however many seconds you want. So when you do that, it'll give a similar sort of response, such as successfully set shutdown delay, and in 20 seconds this will shut down. So that's pretty much it for this Unturned update video. Hopefully you guys learned something. I know I did while making it. There was actually a large section going over interior building culling, and it has to do with being able to set certain areas of the map to not render in until you're like inside the buildings in that area. And so the whole goal of that was to improve the performance on your custom map. So I'm not quite sure how to set that up, and I'm not quite sure how drastically it affects your gameplay. But hopefully I'll be able to figure that out soon, and if it's really effective and really good to know, I will let you guys know how to do that, and I'll create a tutorial on it. So anyway guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe if you want to see some more. I will see you all